Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy FGC Chris, and yes, we are here with another video. I'm just gonna say it right out the bat, guys. I know I was supposed to stream this weekend, but I had like back-to-back 16-hour days, and literally I have been feeling like crap this entire weekend. Like right now, my back is hurting so bad, it's killing me just to sit in this chair. But I did want to touch on this whole thing with SonicFox he's getting a Nike sponsorship, which I don't think is really a sponsorship for Nike. I think the Nike did a collab with another artist, and then that artist hired certain video game people to be in there. And of course, pretty much as soon as everybody saw it, some people were happy about it, some people weren't. It got really political really quick, but it's one of those things where I'm like, if it's SonicFox, it's going to get political. He's been that way pretty much ever since I've known him, especially more recently with everything going on. And which is why I said on Questionable Perspective with me and Mr. Joshua that I don't see how you can market him to a large audience, because the vast majority of people are going to be like, we don't care about this dude. And most Americans don't really care about fighting games to begin with. That's why it's so hard for our little genre to grow. Because when it comes down to fighting games, even when you have good commentators, like it's hard for people to sit there and look at something and say they fully understand what's going on. I would say probably first-person shooters are a little bit better, because to me it's easier for you to pick up and understand what's going on in a first-person shooter in consideration to a fighting game, which you have to know like all these frame data, like character moves, why this character move is slower, why did he get hit there. There's just so much to it, and I think that just the average person just does not want to deal with all that. And I think that's a problem that we're going to have to eventually try to bridge that gap. And I know Street Fighters did it, Tekken's did it. Like they're trying to simplify the controls and trying to get more people into the games. Now, in Street Fighter's case, it has worked over in Japan, because Street Fighter 6 is huge over there, and modern controls over there is incredibly, insanely big. But over here, they're not as big. And when it comes to like the streamers and stuff over there in Japan, like they really have in Japan just pretty much taken to their streamers. Like their streamers are pulling in crazy numbers. I think over here, like Maximilian is probably the biggest streamer that we have. I think Diaphone pulls in a good number of people. I think when he does his tournament runs, he gets to like 1,000. Punk is the same way. If he's doing a tournament run or a TNS or something like that, he'll get over 1,000. But a majority of the time, they're not saying they have low numbers, but they're like a couple of hundred people, like 600, 700, 800 people. So still good numbers, but in comparison to the Japanese players, it's not even, it's like night and day. And with SonicFox kind of being the person they went to basically represent, I guess, fighting games, I think it kind of is one of those things where you've had like Punk, you have Justin, you have Just a Kid, you got Blas, who's basically like to me would be a more obvious thing, because that's the more recent sensation that's popped on the scene. But to me, there were so many other players they could have used besides SonicFox. But I feel like with Nike, they had an agenda with that by putting him there, because they're trying to basically tap into a market that to me is not worth them trying to tap into. Because if we're talking about LGBTQ and all that stuff like that, they're not those, well, not really them, but the whole woke crowd over there, they're not going to spend money. And that's been pretty much documented. Every time they've tried to market to those people, they don't spend their money on that stuff. And it's kind of crazy to me how people in the FGC are kind of like, they're okay with Nike sponsoring or basically working with him, collabing with him, but yet they don't want to work with the Saudis who are actually putting their own money into the scene. And I'm like, bro, Nike has so many sweatshops and human rights labor violations and stuff. Like, I just don't get the scene sometimes, man. But you guys let me know what y'all think about SonicFox's whole little deal. Me personally, I could care less, because I'm not going to buy the shoes. I really don't care if they sponsor him. I don't care if he did he ratio libs or TikToks. I really don't care. To me, it's something that in the overall scheme of things, I think is going to be probably not a good thing. Even though people are thinking, oh my God, this collab is going to open up so many doors. It's not. I hate to say it like that, but it's not. Like, the FGC needs to start getting comfortable and start just building itself up and stop trying to wait for celebrities or these big endorsements to come in and just build their community up and stop crying about that stuff. But you guys let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all guys later. Peace. I'm out.